Peace, 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 peace. I got something on my heavens. You know me, whenever I got something on my heavens, I'm gonna come through and I'm gonna share the vibes. So I'm listening to some music right now, and I'm gonna say like, all right, I don't know where to start this. I don't know if to start with a question, but what is positivity and what is negativity? Is it is it direct actions, direct words? Like is it just good words and bad words, good action and bad actions, or is intent? Should intent be sewn in the mix? Because all right, I really want to discuss music before I go on any kind of tangents. All right, so you have conscious music, you have positive music, and then you have reality music, and then you have negative music, right? But where does the reality music and the negative music blur? Because if somebody is singing about their experience and you have similar experience and the music resonates with you and makes you feel a certain type of way that helps you, is that a bad thing? It's like, to be righteous, am I only supposed to listen to idealistic music? Because all right, most of righteous music, like let's talk about, okay, I can only give myself for an example as a as an American born Rastaf man, as a Rastafari, um, born and raised in NYC, and I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, right? So there was a certain expectation for us young black boys growing up in the hood, and there's a culture, there's a hip hop culture, there's an urban culture, and I don't know, it's like, as a Rasta, right? I can be amongst other Rastas, and even in my own self, because of indoctrination and things I've learned, it was like you're you're almost expected to only listen to culture music, right? And culture music it's mostly ideal. Like most of the ones singing culture music is singing about what they would like to see, what they hope to see, what things used to be. But them same culture artists would have other songs that are more like reality songs, and they want to make reality negative and only the idealism positive. And I don't understand how that can be right. How can you deem somebody's experience as negative? Because it's like, okay, like, example, right? Okay, I'm trying to think of some lyrics to like a reggae song right now, off the top of my head. But reggae songs is mostly praise. It's mostly dealing with veneration to black leadership, black divinity, African ancestry. That they sing a lot about dreaming of one day moving to Africa and what Africa will be like if it's free. But mind you, Africa is not free right now. Africa is not liberated. Africa is definitely under neo-colonialism, colonization, and unfair, trade agreements. So Africa is far from free, but Rasta want to sing about one day free, a one day free Africa. They don't want to sing about what it's going to take to get free because they're waiting for a supernatural intervention. But that's a whole nother situation, conversation that I'm not going to get into right now. I just want to talk about the idea of music, right? The idea of singing idealism versus singing reality, because we have this concept like in the positive roots community that we're only allowed to sing positivity, or we're only allowed to speak positive, or but mostly I'm talking about music right now. So if you have songs like if you have songs like you know like prayer and worship. I don't know why right now nothing could come to my head. You know what I'm saying? But I guess I was also want. I guess I don't want to really drop no artist tunes right now because I could think of some. But I compare that as opposed to rap, right? To hip hop, right? And when hip hop is speaking about a lived experience, right? A lived experience. Now, you see, culture music mostly sings about idealism, visions, and past and in the past. It venerates the past, it venerates the future, it venerates the ideal. When you but and they deal with a little bit of reality, mostly idealism, a little bit of reality. Hip hop, on the other hand, is the other way around. It's mostly reality and a little bit of idealism. And when I came into Rasta, I left church. I left church, and I came into this for the reality. Pardon me. I came into this for the reality of the lifestyle, of the liberty. I didn't come into this with no afterlife, waiting for a savior. It's the liberty right here and now. So liberty is your experienced reality, right? It's not an idealism. It's an experienced reality, the way in which you live. So how can I dismiss everything that I experience and just focus on idealism, just focus on hopes, dreams, aspirations, and memories of a time that I was not in. How like they'll speak about once in the days of when whatever story they want to say. They want to speak about when Africa, when we were kings and queens in Africa, but we're not right now. And they want to sing about, when we were all living as one, but we're not right now. And they want to sing it in that day when Jah come, we would be as one again, but we're not right now. So it's a lot of past idealism and future idealism and praise and veneration, which is cool, but that doesn't really. I mean, I kind of like. Am I wrong? Like, I I I enjoy hearing other people going through what I'm going through, been where I've been, overcame, and are still fighting. You know, because it's like this Jesus thing, right? Okay, with Christians, how can how can you say that Jesus is the example of who to be like when according to you, Jesus was supernatural, divine, and couldn't do wrong? Wouldn't it be more realistic to be inspired by a man who once did wrong and made himself right? Since you say that you are all sinners and you all fall short, and the goal is to achieve, then shouldn't your example be a man who was in sin? I guess that's why. I just taught myself something. That's why Christianity loves Paul so much. Because you really think about Christian doctrine, it venerates Paul's ideologies and philosophy way more than Christ. They quote Paul all day, way more than they quote Jesus. But I guess Paul was the sinner who supposedly fixed his ways. I guess why he's the most inspirational character in the New Testament. But so to me, Paul would be a hip hop artist, just for argument's sake. Paul would be a hip hop artist because Paul talked about how he used to be a killer and he came to righteousness, as opposed to a man who never did nothing. You know what I mean? That's why Paul is more inspirational. So to me, just for argument's sake, I don't rock with no Paul. Fire up on a Paul, but let's just say Paul is hip hop and Jesus is roots and culture. You know what I mean? So people love the roots and culture, but they identify with the hip hop. And so people love Jesus, but they identify with Paul. They talk all of Paul stuff. Paul is the most quoted apostle disciple ever, because out of the 27 books of the New Testament, he wrote 17 of them. So he's the most utilized. And why is that? And I'm saying because it got to be the reality. Like, what did he say in Romans 7? The sin I want to do is that I keep on doing, but what I want, he says, what I want to do, I cannot do, but what I don't want to do, this is what I keep on doing, right? That's hip hop. That's the essence of hip hop. I'm trying to do right, but I messed up. I'm gonna get it right. I'm gonna get it right tomorrow, but the system's on my neck, so I gotta do what I gotta do to survive. And I came up, and I'm lucky to be alive. You know what I mean? Just trying to survive this grind. I can relate to that. More than I can relate to. The rain come over the mountain and my mangoes is growing. I waiting for my tomatoes and give thanks to Jah. I don't really know much about that. You know what I mean? Like growing up, I can plant some tomatoes now, give thanks, but I don't know. Am I wrong that I feel strongly rooted in hip hop? I feel strongly rooted in rap. You would have, granted, you have some roster that burn out reggae and all music altogether, and they strictly on some Nyabingi. To me, I don't know. That's church. I'm missing out on life. Like, how can I be wrong to listen to my brothers singing about the experience that I experienced? Growing up in the crack era, growing up in the gangster era, having to do these things, and and let's not act like hard times wasn't some of the best times. Hard times growing up, when you look back on it, you're like, wow, you and your brethren, and there's certain songs that was around back then that bring you to a happy place in your mind and in your heart. So I'm like, if I put on Black Moon, how many MCs must get this? And that brings me to a happy place in my heart. How are you going to say that I'm wrong to listen to this, right? Even if I listen to something like DMX or Onyx, you know what I'm saying? My personal favorite, of course, Bone Thugs and Harmony, which in my opinion are conscious rappers. I mean, that's just my opinion. Some might disagree, but Bone is very conscious. But to me, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, they all have some conscious, songs, but the reality music is important to me. I don't think we should just throw away the reality music, especially when that reality is not something you're ashamed of. Being like, coming through the fire that I've come through to refine me, like I wouldn't be the one standing before the item talking today if it wasn't for my experiences coming up in the hood and things I had to do to survive, things I witnessed, things I've seen, things I've been a part of. Um, yeah, so like that's my culture, like I wasn't born in the Caribbean, you know. Um, Sometimes I wonder like what is it, are we allowed to just jump into any culture, because as much as I appreciate love Rastafari as a culture, it's my liberty. My liberty never gonna change, but this liberty exists outside of Rasta. So Rasta culture, the gatherings is the most beautiful thing I ever seen, and I'm never going to stray from that. That's my heart, you know what I mean? I love to be amongst the I and the I's and the ones, I'm the first one to pull up my last and build a fire and start, make a pot. And I don't even eat cooked food, but I'm the first one to start a pot for the brethren and the sisters who's there, who's present. I love to cook a pot for people and just go on, sip my fruits, drink a little juice. Um, so the culture, the liberty is beautiful, but culture is not one way. Culture, is like I don't think like I heard Pac say, am I less holy because I choose to what Pac said was, am I less holy if I choose to puff a blunt and drink a beer with my homies? And I'm saying to Rastas, am I less holy because I choose to listen to hip hop which moves my spirit and moves my soul and remind me of my growth. You know, I love hip hop. You know, I love rap music. I love, you know, a lot about the culture in which I grew up in NYC. And I don't feel as a Rasta man, I have to turn my back on that. I don't think that's a one way thing. Oh, once you are Rasta, once you say Rastafari, you can only listen to Naya Bingi, or you can only listen to Bingi and reggae. Nah, that don't make no sense to me. I love music. I love all types of music. I'm not just limited to hip hop. Like I love all kind of music. You know, if I identify with the lyrics and I can move to the rhythm, I'm with it. You know, guitar rips and rock and I don't really do heavy metal, but give me some country, give me some R&B, give me some jazz, give me some rock. Word. You're not gonna take my Nirvana from me. You're not gonna take my Godsmack from me. You're not gonna take my Guns N' Roses from me. You're not gonna take my Linkin Park from me. I don't know why would you want to. You know what I mean? And the funny thing is a lot of times the ones that be judging me about these things, they don't even hold the discipline of my liberty. Cause I'm not running around here on no, like I've been in this liberty for a long time, and I grew out of the whole showing off, and want to do more and more. I yes, I might not, I love it. I know just trying to show off for people, but yeah, a lot of ones who have all them I language, that they life be messy. You know what I mean? Ones who have all the colors and this and the big array, and they be the ones that be the most messy. The ones that want to act all holier than thou and just completely righteous. They be the ones that hide the most. Like I'm me, like I'm clean, and I enjoy my music, all genres of music, and music is life, music is love, music is spirit, you know what I mean? And singing about an experience can't be negative. You know what I mean? Now people can take an experience and be toxic with it. Yeah, it can happen, and what songs is just trying to be extra raunchy for no reason, and you know what's reality. I've been talking way longer than I intended to. It's late. I don't know. Prayerfully, I'm not rambling. I pulled a couple things out the rabbit hat to pull this together, but what's y'all thoughts on it? How do y'all feel about the music? Are y'all open when it comes to music, or do y'all put yourself in a box based on your beliefs? And do you feel you're not allowed to listen to certain things since you've been trodden Rasta? And because I know I went through a period in my liberty where I didn't. I threw away all secular music, as they call it. But I'm just like, I don't. Secular music says who? Who define these terms? How are we not allowed? We're given this life experience, but we're not allowed to sing about it. So I'm given this life experience, this hard time life experience, where I had to run and hop a fence, and I'm not supposed to sing about that. Like I'm not supposed to sing about the time when I had to run from the police, because it's a reality. Even at Rasta, there was a time where herb was illegal, and I don't think y'all just wanted to go to jail. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure y'all made the necessary precautions to avoid the law. So, you know, is that not worth a song? So, yeah, I don't know why people wanna cast stones on reality music, but I like reality music. I like reality music. I definitely like reality music because I live in reality. So, what's your thoughts on reality music versus just roots? Blessed.